13, 14 and 15. So this is an array, and to indicate that this is a queue, we need only two variables, front and rear. So what is that variable name? Front, and another variable name is rear. As already we know everything, still now I am again telling it here, so that if any discontinuation is there of the previous video, then also no problem will occur. So front will always point to the front node of the queue. So what is the front node in this queue? This is 0th element. So front variable will contain the index of the front node, which is 0. And rear is pointing to the last node or the rear node of the queue, which is 4. Now when we use this array, the front and rear variable will be changed according after insertion. So this front and rear variable, this value will be modified. But we will do the insertion, we will write this insertion operation within a function. So to reflect the change of front and rear variable outside of the calling function, we have to use a pointer which will point to this front and rear variable separately. So to pointer which points to front variable is given name pfront, which is pointing to this front variable. How it can point to this front variable? Now suppose front variable is stored at location 1000, then pfront is a pointer which will contain the address of the front variable, which is 1000. And suppose pfront, this is a pointer variable. For this pointer variable, suppose memory location 3000 we have assigned. That does not matter, it can be anything. But pfront is that it is storing the address of the front variable. That's why the value of the pfront is 1000, where 1000 is the address of the memory location where the front variable is stored. Similarly, for rear variable, we have to use another pointer, prear. Suppose that rear variable is stored at memory location 2000. So prear will store the address of the rear variable, which is 2000. And suppose that prear is stored in memory location 4000. So prear is now pointing to rear variable. So whenever we will call that function, we have to pass this pfront and prear to reflect the change of front end variable which is done inside that function, and to reflect that change outside of that function, we will pass only the pfront and prear, which is a pointer to front and rear variable respectively. Now, if you think how to find out whether the queue is full or not, if the rear index is equals to maximum array index, then we can say that queue is full. So what is the condition to check whether queue is full or not? The condition is that if value at location prear, what does it mean? The value at location prear means value at 2000. And what is the value at 2000 location? The 4. So in this way we are accessing the rear value inside of a function. So while the value at location prear equals to array size minus 1. What is the array size? Now that is the maximum, that is the size of the array, which is 5 here. And when the rear variable has got the value array size minus 1, then it indicates that queue is full, which is clear from this picture. So when prear value at location prear equals to array size minus 1, then insertion cannot be done to print the proper message that queue is full. So insertion cannot be done. Insertion cannot be done. That is the case, which is case 1. Now you consider we will write a function, and to handle that case 1, what the parameter we have to pass to that function. Now the parameter is at period, and array size also. Array size is already, it is a global, it's a constant, so we don't have to pass the array size, but we have to pass the base address of the array so that it can access the every element within that array, which is representing a queue. So that is the first case when queue is full. Else means if queue is not full, then what we will do, we will consider the next two cases, that queue is not full and queue is not empty. So how to handle that case 2? So case 2 is that queue is not full and queue is not empty. So we are considering the queue here. Suppose only 3 elements are placed into the queue which are occupied, then remaining 2 positions are vacant. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is array. Now what is a front node? This is front node is 10. So front variable will point to this front element which is at index 0. So value at pfront, that will be same. It will store the address of front variable which is 1000. And what is the rear element here? The rear element is 30. That is the last element in the queue. So rear will point to this last node which is at index 2. So what will be the value of the rear variable? It will be 2. So that value will be accessed by using prerear pointer variable, which is the rear variable is stored in memory location 2000, and prerear will store this address of the rear variable. So it is pointing to this rear variable and pfront is pointing to front variable. Now this is the case where the queue is not empty and also queue is not full. In that case, what will happen? This is the rear node. So next element to be inserted at the next index position. So what we have to do, we have to increment the rear value by 1. How it can be accessed? A value at location prerear. So in else part, what we have to write, if this is the else part, the value at location prerear, that means value